parents or Reddit? What do your kids think they're being all slick and sneaky about, but you know all about it? My son is making a book for his mom to tell her how much he loves her. He's still pretty young and just learning to read and write. So slowly, like, over the course of the last few weeks, he'll bring a book up to an adult and ask them to help him read, and then ask randomly, "Is the word amazing on this page? Where? Oh, can you help me find a story where they have that word? Oh great, is that the word I'm pointing to?" Then he disappears for a few minutes, then the cycle will start again with another word. Slowly he's writing a book for her, one word at a time. I know because I followed him one time recent and saw he was writing something in a book, then happened to check it out when he was asleep. So now I know his secret. He was up to about 2 pages and it's really sweet. I don't know how much longer until he'll deem it finished. But I'm sure I'm the only adult who knows what's up. Edit. Thanks you Justabeerlight and you Thehebrapit for making me sound increasingly smarter than I am. I bought my kids their own DSs. Sometimes they come downstairs really tired saying something like, "Yeah, I didn't sleep well last night." I just look at them like, I've literally used that exact same excuse when playing my Game Boy. Not a parent, but I'm working in a kindergarten this summer as a kindergarten teacher. One of my students, 5 years old, carries with him this picture his 7-year-old brother drew. He keeps hiding it in his pocket and keeps looking at it when we don't see. Like he goes to the toilet and while he is pooping, he takes the pic out of his pocket, looks at it and puts it back. When we have naps, he hides it under his pillow and looks at it when we don't see. This is the first time his big brother is not in the kindergarten with him because he is at the preschool. We had a substitute yesterday and she yelled at him, "Hey, what are you hiding?" I quickly stepped in and told her not to address it. They don't have the most stable home life, so that might be why he is so attached to his brother. I didn't know this at the time, but my mom loved sitting on the front porch late at night and just enjoy the sounds and smells. She has a beautiful garden. I didn't realize every night when I would pop the screen off my window and hang out of it to smoke a joint she could see me and smell it. Never said anything till I was in my mid-20s. I thought I was so sneaky in high school. I would come home at curfew, run the water in the bathroom a bit, flush the toilet, and then turn my radio on low. I slept with it on, and then sneak out my bedroom window. My bedroom faced the front of the house and was on the ground floor. I did this so much that my window screen wouldn't fit properly and kept falling off. Every time it fell off I told my parents that the wind must have ripped it off during the night. Mom bought my story. When I was in my 30s my dad told me he used to get up and watch me from the front window as I ran down the street and got back into my friend's car. When I asked him why he never busted me, he said you were an A-average student and you never got brought home by the cops. If you had been, you would have been grounded until you were 35. I'm so not sneaky. In high school, my girlfriend's middle school-aged brother would walk to the bathroom next to the living room where the rest of us were and sniffle and announce, "Oh man, my nose is really runny today," and grab some tissues to take to his room. Everyone knew he was going back to his room to beat off. If he would just go to the bathroom and put some in his pocket, nobody would have a clue. My adult son recently admitted that all those headaches he had in middle school weren't really headaches, he just had a lot of issues with school and didn't want to go. He apologized for lying. I asked if he ever noticed that I always let him stay home and often took us out to lunch when he miraculously felt better after the bus left. As long as he kept his grades at a tolerable level, I knew what he needed was a mental health day, not a sick day. I did take him to the DR to rule out anything serious, but when it became apparent that his problem was likely stress, I just tried to distress his life as much as I could and find non-school things he could do to make friends. I have 3 kids 7 years 3 years. They sneak out of their room late at night trying to get snacks. They never see me standing in the darkness. I've made it my personal mission to sound like a huge booming man and yell at them to get to their rooms. I've never seen them run so fast. Edit, I'm the MOM number. My son's bedroom recently moved to the basement of our small 2-story house. He thinks he's being sneaky by watching the television down there late at night or when he wakes up to go to the bathroom. Even turns it down really low and shit. What he doesn't realize is that there's a vent right above the TV. Which my room is directly above and the connecting vent is right next to my bed. It's waken me up from a dead sleep twice now, and even with the sound down like he has a. It kind of echoes. I thought about confronting him but his summer just started and he's worked hard to improve his grades this year. At 10.5. If that's the worst thing he's doing, I'll let it slide. I'll share this anyways. When I was in high school I used to sneak out. Shocker, I know. My room was right next to my parents' and I guess they could always hear the hardwood floor creaking and then the window sliding up. Well, one night I had snuck out and then the next day my girlfriend had came over for dinner and my mom looks at us and says, "So, where did y'all go last night?" Playing whack-a-mole, dude, no one takes that many showers every day. You're killing me with the water bill, man. Hopefully my son reads this. My 5-year-old thinks that when he sneaks into my bed at night, I'll never find him if he just lays at my feet. When my son is trying to play with something that he knows isn't a toy, he'll say, "What do you have there?" And he'll go, "No," and throw whatever it is far away. If it's not in his hands, I obviously can't get onto him for playing with it. He's 3, so that's as sneaky as he gets. Getting snacks they aren't supposed to have. They grab them and go hide to not be caught. My wife and I use this to our advantage. We accidentally leave snacks out for them to get so they leave us alone for a while. My kids just finished a week of ninja-themed day camp, and I guess part of it involved learning how to set small booby traps because I saw my older son, 8, head upstairs with a step stool. His dad said, "What do you need, kiddo? What's the step stool for?" "Oh, nothing." 5 minutes later I walked upstairs to use the bathroom and saw him carefully positioning a stuffed animal on top of the slightly ajar door to the master bedroom. I studiously ignored it. My kids build these gigantic constructions in our backyard and their sister always tries to tell on them, but it always disappears before we can get out there. But little does she know, I know all about it, so does my husband, and my kids know what they're doing. Like, come on, you really don't think I can see the roller coaster? And don't get me started on the electric bill. I thought I was being sneaky when I took off my brace to correct my underbite every night because it was hard to sleep with. Then I woke up one morning and saw that the brace was gone. That was a bad morning for me, but it taught me that I wasn't half as clever as I thought I was. Not my child, but I'm doing teacher assistant jobs while getting my degree to be a teacher. Anyway, one of my students was a little girl who really liked bugs. We were outside and she kept carrying something around. It was a handful of worms. I asked her what she was doing, and she asked to keep them as a pet. So, I have to tell her we can't and she gets upset, stomps over to a bench and sits down, arms crossed and pouting. Around time to come back inside, I'm lining everyone up and she's beaming, happy as a clam. She also won't take her hand out of her pocket. So, I immediately realized she pocketed the worms. After another talk, she finally put them back and stomped inside, fairly disgruntled, lol. My 8-year-old can eat some kind of junk food after he eats vegetables and a protein. When it's something he doesn't like very much, like green beans, he eats slow. A couple of days ago, he ate them in a matter of minutes and asked for a cupcake. He dumped the green beans in the trash and covered with a paper plate. Toddler is red-faced in a squatting position. Me. "Hey buddy, do you need to poop?" "Son?" Grunting nope. 2 minutes later. Me. "You stink, did you poop?" "Son?" Running away with visible lump in his diaper. Nope. Found a sock full of poop in my son's closet. He says he doesn't know how it got there. My son sneakily messages his girlfriend good night. They are 12. She is a lovely girl who reads a lot of books, wears her hair in pigtails and is a great student, and he is brilliant at maths, but not so brilliant at realizing mom can see he was on WhatsApp at 10 p.m. I check his phone sometimes, and they held hands walking home from school yesterday. She said it was magical. 3. My 3-year-old pretends that he needs the toilet so that he can go to the bathroom and wash his rubber ducks. Teenager made up a secret written code with his best friend. So sure was he about their cleverness, they left their notes all over the house, including on my computer desk. It was a straight letter to symbol system. Took me about 30 minutes to figure it out, and now I know all their secrets. Discussions of sex, drugs, drinking, crushes, parties, teachers, and parents. One of the correspondence pages was them laughing about how no one would ever be able to read what they wrote. I just can't bear to break his heart per second, so of course I can't tell him I cracked it. And that it was really easy. Caught my son hollowed out a cucumber at the kitchen sink middle of the night. He told me he need to do an experiment using hollowed out cucumber, a wire, battery and a small light bulb. I knew he's making a bong. I was the child. When I was about 12 I was softly beating my meat in a caravan, thinking my parents were asleep and none the wiser. Obviously I was working my way up and not realizing how fast I was jerking it when my dad shouts out, "Stop shaking the caravan." Absolutely mortified. Not the parent but my little brother watches YouTube on the PS4, which pisses me off to no end. What he doesn't know is that the IT account logged into there is mine, so I can check his watch history from my phone and see what kinda stuff he's watching. He's recently started getting into quite edit. Since people keep asking, the reason it annoys me that my brother watches YouTube on the PS4 is because we share the PS4, so when it's his turn instead of playing games, he watches YouTube, which he could do on the computer. Not me, but my mom told me she knew about me hiding my DS under the pillow, but she was too stressed about her work to bother trying to stop me. She's a primary school teacher and divorced. That my son is gay. He pretends to be interested in girls, but I know he's gay. I'm just waiting for him to tell me. When the opportunity comes up, egg a TV or news story, I always make a point of saying to him and his sibling that I fully support their choices in life whatever they may be, and they will always have a safe space in our house. I just hope he doesn't leave it too long, because I don't want him to build up to be this huge thing that we won't agree with. I don't want him to lose sleep over it, because we are going to support him 100%. Not me, but when I got my dad's old iPad when he got a new one, I used to play games on it when I was supposed to be sleeping. I thought I was being super sneaky having it on the lowest brightness level and no sound, and making sure I didn't make any sounds myself. He suddenly bursts into my room and commands me to go to sleep. I honestly thought my dad was a psychic at that moment, and I have no idea how he figured out I was awake and playing games. Scared the heck out of me too. Not the answer you're looking for, but on the contrary, I'm almost certain my parents know I smoke weed. I tried to hide it at first, but one afternoon I was bored and decided to do some edibles. Went upstairs and tried my best to hide the fact that I was high. Mom didn't say anything, but she did make me a plate of nachos. My 17-year-old daughter always seems to have a bad case of the giggles after hanging out with her friends. I'm not stupid, kiddo. Bed candy. As long as they eat okay, brush teeth and don't attract vermin, I don't mind finding Haribo packaging. Not as exciting because he's a toddler, but my son wants snacks he can't have, so he knocks over the box and says, "Oh no, I have to clean them up," then starts putting the scattered snack packs back into the box, but slides one under him in the process. He then puts the box in the cabinet while one arm is behind his back with the extra bag of cookies. 3-year-olds are wild. Staying up late. I know both my kids stay up pretty late playing on their phones, but since they both get decent grades and don't have problems waking up in the morning, IJF. When I was 17, I thought I was really sneaky coming home from smoking weed with my boyfriend and friends. My parents are old, they totally won't know, they were early 40s, until I come home late every night, go straight to my bedroom, and only come out to make some strange snack concoction. My favorite was the cookie dough and fudge sandwiches together. Our living room and kitchen were kinda like one big room, so they had to try and not piss themselves as I snuck from my room to the kitchen, all while they watched and stood in the kitchen eating snacks and then creeping back to bed to sleep. I actually thought I was sneaky as fuck as well for some extra fun. I'm 24 now and I've smoked weed with my dad and laughed about this. I'm a parent, but my kiddo hasn't tried to be really sneaky yet, so I'll share my own misguided shenanigans. I'm a twin, identical except for a scar on my lip. According to my grandmother, I would often try to claim my sister's snack after finishing my own by cleverly covering my mouth with my hand and asking for my snack. Flawless plan. Except when my grandmother would tell me I'd already had my snack, I'd reply, "I'm not me, I'm my sister." My kid steals and eats food. I recently found a stash of 3 empty quart jars that used to be apple pie filling, a half-empty jar of marinated mushrooms, and an empty quart jar of grape juice. I found some bags of dried-up grape stems and dried-up orange rinds under their bed before. We had a very serious talk about food poisoning. He also sneaks flashlights and books and reads in bed. Normally it's not too late, but I've caught him as late as 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. before. Not the parent but the kid. My parents are extremely prone to embarrassing kids or making jokes when they find out about one of my or my siblings' romantic endeavors. It's certainly not abusive, just makes us all uncomfortable and makes us not want to talk about it with them. I have continued this trend, but since I don't have a car, I'll usually have to get rides from them to dates. Every single time I've said I'm going out with a few friends and thought they believed it. Fucking nope. I eventually realized that they knew when my dad picked me up from the flag football game that a girl invited me to watch. I had said a friend invited me. He said, "Isn't flag football just for girls?" Then they mentioned all the dates that I had been on that year. Doesn't really matter, but I just thought of myself as more discreet than I was. Edit. Fixed a word. Eating in her room. We still find little wrappers and stuff behind the bed, in the closet, or an empty bowl she had something in. Shutting the door doesn't mean I can't still see what you're viewing online. I just choose to let you be normal teenage boys and not call you out on it. Miso has a 14-year-old brother, and he doesn't know that Miso and his mother have all seen his Discord chats. We didn't mean to. He forgot to log out one day on the family computer. Anyway, he thought he was some sort of meme lord until he accidentally sent a girl a Pornhub Shrek meme, which is funny to me because he's super shy and quiet Earl. I know that the partial bottle of vodka has been mostly replaced with water because I know alcohol doesn't freeze in a standard freezer. Plus, I was also a teen once upon a time and tried the same thing. Bonus. If you're seriously trying to sneak something past your parents, don't just put whatever it is in the trash can, candy wrappers, condoms, receipts, etc. More often than not, we parents take out the trash, dumbus. Oh, and yes, I'm aware that the outside door hinges squeak. I haven't oiled them on purpose. My son is only 2.5, and he thinks that I don't see him throwing shit, bang him and doing a fake crunch sound when he eats. I held the fridge door open for my son, 3-0, so he could pick a yogurt. He tiptoes right in front of me and sneakily takes one, all the while saying, "I'm the sneakiest kid in the world." My older son is obsessed with watching funny YouTube videos on his tablet. He thinks he's being slick when he sneaks it and a pair of headphones upstairs at night. But his laugh is so loud it could wake the dead. My 1-year-old loves playing with the rocks I have in a ficus tree. I don't mind because she no longer puts them in her mouth, but she's still really sneaky about it at times, and it's adorable. Not a parent, but a brother, I know about the poop sock. My oldest is almost 13. Dude, I know why you're taking hour-long showers. I know why you keep your bedroom door closed all the time, and I know you're not watching The Office on your tablet at 1 in the morning. It's cool, little dude. We've all been there. And no, you won't go blind and you won't lose it if you don't use it. Once when my kid was 3, I walked into the kitchen and caught her red-handed, up on the counter with her hand literally inside the cookie jar. She saw me and froze, and we had a brief tension-filled moment during which I could clearly see the gears turning in her little head. She looked at me. I looked back. I raised my eyebrow at her and she came to a decision. Her chosen course of action was to say, "Don't look, mommy." My 12-year-old will sneak his iPad or Nintendo Switch into his bedroom at night and play instead of going to sleep. I was the sneaky kid. When I was around 8, I wanted to get glasses to look cool. I came up as a nerd since childhood. The problem is that I had perfect vision. So I faked a bad vision and would constantly complain of headaches and that I couldn't see what the teacher would write in the blackboard. All fake. My mother took me to an ophthalmologist and they got me fake glasses without any diopters and all my problems were gone. Until this day I have no idea how they knew. I thought I was doing great on my deception. Of course I did not like to actually use the glasses and I dropped them eventually, claiming that I was miraculously cured. I'll answer for my parents. When I was young, maybe 13 to 14-ish, I was slapping my dick off in the bathroom and then I hear a loud ahem and I never wanked again. 90% of this thread should be 2 words, jackin' it. My daughter, 13, has a bad habit of sneaking food in the middle of the night. Unfortunately, she's terrible at hiding the evidence, i.e. wrappers peeking out of the cushions and footprints on the stovetop. Bedwetting, my son changes himself and puts it in the laundry, goes back to a wet bed, and on the morning it smells. Can't be me mum, my clothes are dry. No one else peed in your bed, mate, be honest and tell me so you can shower so other kids at school won't smell it on you. Hoarding dum-dums under the bed. They are 5 and 3, and whenever they pull over the top chore duty they get a dum-dum. Sometimes the wrapper comes off instantly and they revel in the glory of the moment. The others, as discovered while cleaning their rooms, go into neat piles underneath the 5-year-old's bed. He has his and she has hers, and I have no clue if they are sugar preppers, working some kind of preschool black market, or just looking for a quick fix at nap time, but those little fuckers are up to something. Nice try, son. Our baby girl is just 14 months old, but she already tries being a sneaky bee. We've got a balcony where I have flower beds that hold different kinds of plants like a blueberry, a few herbs and some pretty flowers for the missus. I've secured the balcony so nothing can happen with our baby girl out there. So every now and then she sneaks out to the balcony, mostly when she feels safe and unwatched, and punches my flowers. Not the herbs. Not the blueberries. Nope. The flowers. I've lost 4 lavender plants to that little secret, but to be honest I find it pretty funny, so I let her keep doing it. My daughter is only just a year old. She knows she isn't supposed to pull things off the indoor clothes hanger we use when it's too wet or late to put the washing up outside. I saw her yesterday trying her hardest to hang a shirt back up, which she has neither the coordination nor the height to do. She walked away quite satisfied from the most roughed up shirt dangling from the lowest line. I'll let her have that one. My kids thought I didn't know what weed smelled like. I grew up in Calif. In the 70s, you little dumbasses. I don't know if my ex-husband knows, but there is a strict no texting boys policy in his house. She's almost 13, and I found out about 3 months ago that our daughter has been using Snapchat on her iPod to talk to her male friends for about 6 months now. It's not a rule in our house as I grew up with mostly male friends, and I left the decision to tell her dad up to her. His rule is at 13 she can text whomever she'd like, and I feel close enough. Like, if you can't trust her to text her friends regardless of sex, then he shouldn't trust her with the more mature things he does. She also swears like me when she doesn't know that I can hear her. My 4-year-old son will accidentally call me mom, then quickly follow up with, "Is not home right now, right?" Because he's embarrassed that he called me mom. I feel bad for him. He can call me whatever he wants.